Ask for what you want clearly and do not wait until you are at the point of being burnt out where it's like, this needs to happen right now or else I'm gonna lose it. Maybe you're not a makeup girly, but you do your skincare. Do your skincare. Take a long shower. Scrub your skin. Like, as moms, we focus so much on being the best parents. We are trying, if you are a good mom, you are trying so hard with your kids and you are always striving with them. Care for yourself. And the way that you care for yourself, it's teaching other people how to care for you. I realized that I wanted my husband to do stuff for me that he had never seen me do for myself. How he even know that I even like that? Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anelia. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So this video is going to be about motherhood, about my experience so far, what it's like dealing with burnout, overstimulation as a mom, and I'm going to be giving y'all some tips that I've been using to help me cope and also thrive in this phase of life. I'm going to be doing my makeup while I talk about that. So this is the end product, and if you want to see how we got here and listen to me yap about my experience as a mom, then keep on watching. I hate to be coming to you guys like this, but I am going to be doing a little makeup routine, so we're coming raw and uncut. Yeah, I made a promise to myself and my subscribers that I would be putting up 1 to 2 videos every week, and last week I did not post a video because, as you guys could probably hear in my voice, I was sick as a dog. Like, I am not even feeling too good right now, but I just don't want another week to pass where I don't post anything. I'm trying to be a woman of my word and post because I said I was going to post, you know what I'm saying? Last week, my whole household was just down so bad. Myself, my husband, my kids, it just was not good. It was not good. Yeah, and it always just makes it so clear for me whenever anything at all goes wrong, how much you need community and how hard it is to raise kids without anyone else besides like just the two of y'all. So that's what this video is really going to be about. Still learning, but just sharing with you guys as I figure it out, and hopefully this can help somebody. But yeah, I have been very overstimulated by my kids. I also feel burnt out in the fact that it feels like no matter how much I do, nothing gets done. Like, that's how it appears to me, because things get undone so quickly when you are constantly at home. So for example, dishes are always needing to be washed. Laundry always needs to be done. The house consistently needs to be cleaned. It feels like all the things that I do get undone. It's not like if you have a project that you're working on and then you get to see the end product and the end product remains and you're like, oh, I did that, and then you move on to the next thing. It's so cyclical being at home. Everything is repetitive and it does become very mundane. It causes me to feel burnt out. It's the stuff that's making it more bearable for me. Now that disclaimer is out of the way, let me get my makeup bag out because I'm sitting here yapping and I touch a lick of makeup. So first thing, we're gonna go in with my trusty Fenty Beauty. I've heard people saying a lot about Fenty Beauty online as though she's not that girl, but she's been that girl for me. Also, I'm going to use my Dior Forever Glow. I like to mix them both. I use them both. Okay, so first things first, I think we should address what it even is to be burnt out. And I looked up a definition, and burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that happens when you've been under constant stress for too long. The reason it is common for moms is that we are constantly in demand with no real downtime, especially if your kids are very young. You are needed all the time and they are not able to give back to you. So for example, my mom, when we were teenagers or whatever, if she needed to take a break, she could take a break more easily because we were old enough to tend to like fend for ourselves a little bit. And even if she had a headache, she could be like, hey, can you make me a cup of tea? I could make her a cup of tea and stuff. But when you have very young children, you are really giving to them in a way that they are unable to reciprocate or even be able to recognize when you're having a hard time. Like my son, even if I seem sad, he'll just say, Mama's sad, but I want to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't adjust. Like, they're not able to empathize with where you are. And like, specifically for me, my children are very young. So they're not able to empathize with me being tired. They're not able to empathize with me being sick. They just can't at this stage of their life yet. So I have been experiencing burnout because I am being overstimulated in a way where they aren't even able to regulate themselves just yet. Emotional overload from caring for the kids nonstop, feeling invisible, or like your needs don't matter. If you have a spouse that is working a lot, or even like when they're home, they're not able to give to you in the way that you need, because they could also be burnt out. If your situation is similar to mine, where you are not getting help from family and friends, it's just you and your spouse that are raising your kids, then just the way that you're getting burnt out, so could they could be getting burnt out as well, right? So you're having a need for them to cater to you and care for you, but they're not able to because they're burnt out from caring for the kids. Loss of identity outside of motherhood also leads to burnout. So signs that you are burnt out: you are irritable, you're snapping at the kids, you're snapping at your spouse. You feel detached, you're not really enjoying the things that you used to enjoy. Trouble sleeping even when you are tired. That's a symptom that I have. I don't want to go to sleep because whenever everybody else is down, it feels like the only time that I can have for myself. So even if I'm tired, I make myself stay up, and then I pay for it the next day because I'm taking care of the kids and I'm tired. So then we have overstimulation. What does it mean to be overstimulated? So overstimulation happens when your senses or nervous system are taking in too much at once. It's too much noise. Somebody's tugging on your shirt. Somebody wants you to do something. Somebody is yelling. The TV's in the background. It's just like noises, touch, sound, and constant need for you. And so your senses are literally overstimulated. There is too much stimuli coming in. So when you are overstimulated, you are not just annoyed. You are literally taking in too much stimuli. Too much is going on around you. And so it's making you have a harder time. If you have a lack of personal space, and your kids are always wherever you're at. So you're using the bathroom and the baby is coming in there with you. You take showers with them, because I know some moms have to do that. I had to do that when my daughter was very young because she cried so much. She was very colicky. And so in order for me to still get a shower but not listen to the noise, I had to take showers with her. I have seen posts online of people saying that people act as though the newborn phase is so bad and so on. If you are a mom that's watching this and you have had a very good experience with the newborn phase or anything like that, I'm happy that that's your experience. Like, I'm very happy for that. But I would like for people to be empathetic to the fact that just because something went really well for you does not mean that someone else isn't facing challenges with it. Also, people's ability to deal with things range. So maybe one thing isn't overstimulating for you, but it is very overstimulating for someone else. Do not negate people's experiences. So please have empathy for people and their plight. Everybody experiences things differently and things affect people differently. The signs of being overstimulated and the signs of being burnt out kind of interlock, and I think they're very similar. If you are overstimulated, you may feel like you're on edge a lot, you're craving silence, you're craving space, you just want some time for yourself. You may get touched out, you don't want to be touched. Your children touching you or your husband touching you irritates you. You guys get the gist. If you're someone watching this and you are burnt out or overstimulated, you probably already know that you're burnt out and overstimulated. So let's get to the tips. First thing I would say is that you need to recognize in yourself that something is wrong and what you're gonna do about it, and figure out your why. Why do I have to fix this problem? It matters for you to figure out your why because it will motivate you to maintain the changes even if they're hard. So some things are hard to implement, but once you figure out, oh, this is why I'm doing this, then you will be able to do it. I'll give an example. Some stuff that I'm going to say causes mom guilt for me initially. It caused me to feel a little bit guilty as a mom. But when I figured out why I was doing it, that I'm doing it so that I can be the healthiest mom I can be mentally, so that I can be a good mom to them, it took away my mom guilt. Because before that, I felt like if I wanted to do a self-care day, it made me feel guilty because I'm like, oh, I should be spending time with the kids. I could be taking them to the park. I could be doing this, blah, blah, blah. And so I always felt very guilty if I took a day or a half day to go get my nails done or a massage or whatever the case might be. I always had so much mom guilt. So you have to figure out why it is that it's important for you to do these things that you're going to be doing. Why do I have to do this? Give yourself 3 reasons. I don't feel happy. I don't like the way that I look. I don't like the way that I'm caring for myself right now. Whatever your reasonings are going to be, it will be different for everybody. But a big one, I think, for most moms is the better I am is the better mom I am able to be. So that really allowed me to be able to move into the other steps better, without feeling terrible every time I went out for drinks with a friend or did anything at all for myself that had nothing to do with my kids. Step 2 is keep track of your cycle. So this might sound very silly, but when I had my kids, I have 2 under 2. Well, I had 2 under 2. They're no longer 2 under 2. But I had 2 under 2. And when I got my first period back, the influx of those hormones drove me so crazy. I literally thought I was losing my mind. I was so irritable, just so irritated. I had no idea what was going on, and I was having the worst time. I was so emotional. I just was having a very terrible time. And the following few periods after that were very terrible, and just a terrible experience for myself and my husband, because I was not being nice to him. I was snapping. I always try not to snap at my kids, and I'm almost always successful. I don't snap at my children. I really, really try not to. But I will snap at my husband because I'm like, you're grown, you can take it. But it's not healthy, right? So it was causing a very hard time for me and him, because as I was being irritable, whatever he did that got on my nerves, or when the children got on my nerves, he got the brunt of it. But as the time has gone on and I'm tracking my cycle now, I'm able to be like, okay, so next week, so we both are tracking my cycle. My husband has my cycle on his phone and I have it on my phone. So we're both aware, like, okay, I'm in my luteal phase, or my cycle is going to come on next week, and so on, so that we can adjust accordingly. He can know to be a little bit more sweet and caring and kind, like just overly, where maybe I wouldn't normally need it, but just like to support me more, and I could be more aware of what's going on with me, so that when I feel more irritable, I can be like, oh yeah, I am in that phase of my cycle, so I can monitor myself a little bit better. And also for me to be like, take more rest, because the reality is that in that phase of your cycle, you need rest. And yeah, like while you're on your period and right before your period comes on, as women, we just need more rest. And if you are not adjusting accordingly, your body is going to just kind of shut down. It's like your body takes what it needs regardless, So if you start feeling just super tired, which is the case for me around that time, I'm just more tired, more irritated. And at first I was trying to just chug along and keep on keeping on and care for the kids the same way that I was, and show up for my husband the same way that I normally would. And the reality just is that I am not able to. And so I act accordingly now. Whenever my cycle is about to come on, or whenever I'm in my luteal phase and I know I need more rest, I need to sleep in for longer, I need to be like, hey Malik, can you go do XYZ for me that I would normally do myself, but I need more help? You need to have a conversation with your spouse so that they know and they can be aware. Like if you're with somebody that genuinely loves you and cares for you and wants to show up for you in ways that you need, which I hope that that's the case for all of us. Once you alert them to what is going on, then they can react accordingly. Another step 3, to lower my expectations. And I know this one is hard. This one has been a hard pill for me to digest, because we want what we want, right? You want life to go the way that you want it to go. We all do. I want things to happen the way that I want them to happen. My next tip is going to be that you should move your body. So this does not necessarily mean that you need to do a rigorous workout or anything like that, but physical activity does really help because it releases endorphins, so it helps in that way. It helps you feel better in terms of you feeling mentally proud of yourself, that you have accomplished something that's good for you, and over time it will help you look better. But just moving your body in the moment, it gets you out of your head and into your body. You have to focus on something other than what's frustrating you. So it's just a really good thing to do. It's so beneficial all around. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a rigorous workout. You can go for walks, which I do very regularly. I go for a walk almost daily. And it's just a really good way for me to unwind a little bit. Also, I now have a gym membership. My gym offers different classes. They do Pilates, and it all comes with the gym package. So I'm not paying for these things separately because who can afford that? All these group classes that I actually really enjoy because I don't have to think about what I'm going to do in terms of working out, because sometimes I just can't be bothered to like figure out like, oh, what body part am I going to be working today, and what exercises am I going to do to work that body part, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's just too much with me. I'm so sorry. If you're a real gym girly and you like to figure out like, oh yeah, I'm going to do RDLs and then I'm going to do squats, and then I don't want to do that. So I actually really appreciate a gym that has classes. And if you are like me and you struggled to get back into working out, going to classes is a really good way to do that, because you have an instructor and they have to figure out what you guys are going to do. You don't have to think about anything. You just follow what the instructor says. So yeah, there's that. And even more simply, go for a walk. Go be out in nature. Literally stop and smell the roses. Like, these are very small things that people say, but they actually really help. Like I said, when you move your body, it gets you out of your head and into your body, so you are less overstimulated. And then while you're outside, you get to see other things. You're smelling different smells. You're observing an environment that's different from the one that you're so used to, that's in your house. That's literally what's causing you to be overstimulated. Tip would be to rest and figure out when you need sleep and when you actually just need to rest, to unwind, to be awake, but to be relaxed. You just want to be relaxed and communicate that to the people around you. So if you need to take a long bath because you're like, I just need some time for myself, say that to your husband. Hey baby, I'm gonna go take a bath and I'm gonna just take some time for myself in the bathroom for a little bit, and do that guilt-free. Because if we refer to tip number 1, which is your why do I need to do this? Because I have to take care of myself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And whenever you feel like your cup is running out, the priority needs to be for you to fill your own cup, because you cannot give what you do not have. So whenever you start realizing like, hey, I'm actually not doing so good, you just have to start. Yes, obviously we still have to be good moms and good wives while in that moment. The person that you need to start prioritizing in that moment is you. My kids need a healthy mom. My husband needs a healthy wife. And so, yeah, if the house is what's irritating you, if you're looking at the house and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to get all these things done, blah, 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 blah. The house will not fall apart. It won't. I promise you. Even if no matter how much you see the house is a mess, it will not fall apart. But you might. And this is how we end up with, like postpartum psychosis and all these things, because you're trying to keep everything else together, but you're not focused on you. And sometimes I just really believe as moms, we find it so hard to really just focus on ourselves and be a little selfish a little bit. And I really actually hate that word selfish, because it has such a negative connotation, like, oh, focusing on yourself is such a bad thing. Why is it that being selfish has such a bad rap? Sometimes you have to be selfish. There's nothing wrong with it. We have to put ourselves first at some point. In your life, there will be times when you have to put yourself first. So if you're going through a time period where you're like, I'm having a really hard time, things are getting to me, I'm crying a lot, or I'm irritable, or I'm not enjoying my day-to-day life, all these different things, it's time for you to be a little bit more selfish, mama. There's nothing wrong with that. Do not let selfishness be a bad word to you. Sometimes you have to put yourself first, because we cannot pour from an empty cup. My next tip will be stop doom scrolling. Stop doom scrolling. Get off of Instagram. Get off of TikTok. I know it feels like it's helping you to cope. I know that because I have done it. I will get online and scroll because it feels like, oh, it's going to distract me from what's going on in my life. It's going to distract me from all the noise. It's kind of giving me something else to focus on. But ultimately, it also adds to you being overstimulated, and you pick up on either negative, like things that are actually negative online, like people having negative discourse, or just like general negativity that is online, Or you kid end up seeing somebody that seems like they're just having such a great, wonderful time in their life when you don't feel like that in that moment. And it's not helpful. It's not helpful to see a mom that seems like she's just thriving. She's figured out motherhood. She knows exactly what to do. She meal preps for her kids and they go out, her and her husband are going out for dinner, and just like everything that you would love to do, she's doing it. And you can't even figure out how to, you know what I mean? Or you're seeing a mom that's like, oh yeah, I wake up at 5 a.m. and then I go to the gym and then I do this and then I do that. And she just has it all together. And you're like, man, how do you guys do that? Or a mom that it's like her house, every time you see a post, her house looks like it's perfectly intact. And you're like, my house doesn't look like that. Anything that you're watching online that makes you feel insecure, makes you feel bad about yourself, makes you, feel bad about your spouse or your relationship or your station in life, I just don't think you should consume that type of content. And the longer you scroll, the more likely you are to come across that type of stuff. So be very mindful of how much content you are consuming. And yeah, I said I was gonna do a light beat, but since I'm yapping so much, I'm just continuing to do my makeup for as long as I still have points to share. My next point will be to get good sleep. Now, rest and sleep are not always the same thing. So my earlier point was that you should figure out what you need, and if you just need rest and relaxation, then to do that. But we also need actual sleep. So go to sleep at a reasonable time. If you are struggling to sleep, like myself, take melatonin, drink the cherry tart juice that everybody's talking about online. Work out in the day so that you could be more tired at night. Set a sleep timer on your TV. This is the one that's really helping me. I take my melatonin, I go to bed. I don't like to fall asleep to the dead quiet, but while I'm watching something, I put a timer on my TV for when my TV should shut off. So sometimes I'll do half an hour and sometimes I'll do an hour, never longer than an hour. And I lay there and I watch, and at some point I fall asleep and the TV turns off. And now I'm sleeping. Perfect. We are better and more functional the following day when we had good sleep the night before. Take whatever supplements you need to help you sleep. Melatonin and magnesium are two very good things to assist you in sleeping and staying asleep. Another tip for me is wear headphones. This I do. I live by this. If you guys watch my videos, I always, whenever I'm editing, I'm like, people probably are like, this girl always has headphones on. Sometimes they're not even actually on. I just use them to kind of cancel out what I'm hearing. But sometimes they are on. I'm playing music or whatever, and maybe I'll put only one side on, or sometimes both of them. It just depends on what I need that day. So sometimes if I just need the noise from the kids to be dimmed down just a little bit, I just put them on and I won't play anything, just so that I can still hear them, hear what they're doing and stuff like that. Calm music or meditation. There's a meditation that I listen to that I will just put on, and she's like talking about, oh, you're the surfer, you're out on the waves, blah blah blah. Whatever works for you. Just figure out what it is that you need to be listening to help calm you in the moments where your kids are screaming or crying or whatever. A baby's cry can go up to 120 decibels. Whenever I am wearing my Apple Watch and my daughter is crying, it's always telling me, caution, you are in a loud environment. And I'm like, I know. I don't know what to do. I can't. What am I supposed to do with her? She's here. The environment is loud. The environment is following me. Wherever I go, the loud environment comes. My next step is for you to give yourself time to transition from one task to another. Sometimes we are overstimulated because we are causing ourselves to be overstimulated. Like if you're just jumping from task to task, you are parenting, you're the cook, you're the cleaner, you're the dishwasher and the laundry person and everything, and you're just like on your feet. I'm guilty of this because I'm just like, oh, I'm just getting things done, but it just causes you to be overstimulated over time if you're always like that, because you're constantly buzzing and it feels like you always have something to do, because the reality is that in a household, there literally is always something to do. Like my mom used to say that the work will never be done when I was a kid. And I never got it until now. But the work will never be done. There will always be laundry to do. There will always be dishes to be done, because either you have just done the dishes or you need to unload the dishwasher, or you are about to cook dinner to use more dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like, dishes are always going to need to be done. Laundry is always going to need to be done. The bathroom is almost always going to need to be cleaned. Like, things just, you're living in the house, and so things will always need to be done. So you don't need to be just rushing through everything and just like like trying to speed through things and get everything done. Unless maybe you're having a dinner party or something and people are coming over, then you do need to rush through everything and get everything done, because that is me. You will not come over to my house and my house not be spick and span. But on a normal day, give yourself grace and transition slowly between each task. And ways that you could do that is to stop for a while and read a book. If you are a reader, maybe you just finished doing the laundry and now the kids are down and you were like, oh, I'm gonna empty the dishwasher now as well. But it's fine. You could take 10 minutes and read, or 10 minutes to scroll. Like I said, we're monitoring how much we're scrolling. So if you give yourself 10 minutes to scroll, that's perfectly fine. I can never get both sides of my hair to be identical whenever I curl it, but this is just what it is, okay? Yeah, so I don't know how many tips I've given y'all because I've literally lost count. But my final tip is going to be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. We are moms for the very first time. Even if this is your third child, even if it's your fourth child, you are a mom to 3 kids for the very first time. At every phase of motherhood, it's for your first time. So I've been a mom for 2 years, and then I had my daughter, right? But this was my first time being a mom of 2. So while you do have some experience, it's still your first time. Whenever your kids become 12, this is your first time being a mom to a 12-year-old. It's new. Every phase of motherhood, it's new. So even if some phases are easier than others, some you adapt to better than others, some don't overwhelm you as much as others, they're all new. And if some overwhelm you more than the previous phase did or whatever, it's new. Be gentle with yourself. No part of this is what we know, and there is literally no handbook, and everybody's child is different. So whenever I get online, and maybe some, like I said, I've seen people talk about how I won't even choose a topic, but there have been multiple topics that I see people talk about that I'm like, but that's not the case for me. Everybody's child is different. So even as I'm giving you these tips, right, be mindful that your child, only you know what's going on in your house. And so your child may just be a little bit more frustrating, and you are also different. And the way that things affect you do not have to be the same as the way that it affects someone else. So if you get online and there is a mom that's saying, or if your sister talks about how, oh, when my daughter cries, it doesn't bother me. Good for you. I'm so happy that your daughter's crying doesn't get on your nerves. But guess what? When my daughter cries, it gets on mine. People are allowed to be irritated by different things. Just because you have the patience of a saint doesn't mean I have to. So be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Always remember that this is your first time. No matter what phase of motherhood you're in, this is your first time. Always remember, you are a person. You are not a machine. You do not have to be able to get up every single day and get it right every single day. I have to tell myself that all the time, because sometimes I will feel like a failure if I get up one day and I'm not able to get my son to school on time and have him have breakfast and the whole 9 yards, because he's recently now in daycare. And in the mornings, my goal is always to get up early enough to give him his, brush his teeth, care for him in the morning, make sure that he eats. I have a very picky eater. It takes forever for me to get my son to eat anything. And so if I leave the house and he didn't eat, it feels like I failed. Like, we will leave the house and he literally will not eat, but it's like, we have to go. Otherwise, we're not going to make it there on time. So I'll just give him milk in his bottle while we're in the car and hope that he drinks it, because he also won't drink it. And I will leave, literally, I'll cry. I'm like, I don't know why it's so hard for me to get you to eat, son, and stuff. And I'll feel like a failure, but I am not a machine. And if you don't want to eat, what am I supposed to do? Do you get what I'm saying? So whenever you have those types of situations, it's just like, you just have to be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that you are a person. I am a person. I'm not a robot. I'm his mom, but I do not control his mind. I cannot make him do things that he does not want to do. So if I am over here like, son, you must be hungry, and I'm providing you with the food, but you don't want to eat it, we gotta go. So that's just the reality, So I hope for you as moms that are watching this to also be able to give yourself grace, to be gentle with yourself, and to just remember that this is your first time. You have not done this before. And even for as long as you have been a mom, like my mom right now, for as long as she's been a mom, she has never been a mom of a child that has children. This is a first for her. She is going through this for the first time, how to support my daughter while she has kids, while she is also going through the phase of life that she is currently in. So you're always doing it for the first time. You're always doing it for the first time. And so give yourself grace. You're human. We are not God. And actually, I'm going to add one more point in there. Pray and read your Bible. This is one that I need to do so much more, because God's grace is sufficient, and the Lord will give us the ability to steward over our families that He has blessed us with. Children are a heritage of the Lord. And whenever you feel as though it's all too overwhelming for you, it's too much for you to handle, take it to the Lord in prayer, because God, He will come through for you. He cares for us, and He will give us the ideas, the strength, the gumption. He can calm your child to where if they would normally be a very crying baby, the Lord has the power to calm your children. The Lord has the power to, if you have a child that doesn't eat, for Him to get that child to eat. I pray over my son's eating habits. He does not eat, and I will pray, and I will see changes for a time, and then maybe I don't pray about it enough, and then it will, you know what I mean? So bring everything to the Lord in prayer. There is nothing too small for you to bring to God. If you just feel as though I am irritable, God has given us these children to raise, and He cares about us. We are also His children. Those are His children, and we are His children. Pray about whatever it is that you are struggling with, because God is faithful and just to answer our prayers. Yes, I hope that this video did y'all something, gave y'all something. And also, let's talk about this beat. I feel like I did that. Hello? What y'all think? Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what tip you resonate the most with, or what I said, what I shared that you can relate to if you are a mom that's also experiencing burnout and overstimulation. Because hello, it's hard out here in these parenting streets. They don't tell us enough how hard it is out here in these parenting streets. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe like I said. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.